वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तो वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ।
Namasarvebhyaha. We were going through the beautiful epic poem of Kalidasa, namely Kumara Sambhava. We are now getting into the third canto of Lord Shiva, of this Kumara Sambhava Kavya. In this sarga, we see how Manmatha goes to tempt the mind of Shiva into attraction towards Parvati and finally gets burnt, and that is why this kanda is called Madana Dahana. When Indra just remembered Manmatha appeared before him, and Indra does not need to send words to Manmatha, just a remembrance of Manmatha would be sufficient and he would appear before him. And when Manmatha came there, Indra looked at him with all his 1,000 eyes, setting aside looking at all other gods. Kalidasa says, Tridashan Vihaya, leaving all other gods, Sahasramakshnam Yugapat Papata. Simultaneously, the 1,000 eyes of Indra looked at Manmatha. And Kalidasa says in this context that when the boss wants some work to be done by some particular assistant, he gives him extraordinary attention. Prayojanaapekshitaya prabhunam prayaschalam gauravamashtriteshu. And this depends upon the task that the boss has at his hand. And if he has to get some work done by some other person, so he would naturally pay attention to that person the more than to some earlier person to whom he had paid high attention. And therefore, this kind of attention being paid by the master keeps on changing. Prayaschalam gauravam. Chalam in Sanskrit means chanchalam. So, chalam gauravam ashtriteshu. So, the kind of regard that they pay is something that is not stable, that can keep changing. But anyhow, here Manmatha has been very well invited and received here. And how did Indra treat Manmatha? So he drew him close and he gave him half his seat. Sa vasavena asana sannikrishtam ito nishida. Manmatha, sit here. Iti visrishta bhumihi. So he made room for Manmatha also to sit by his very side. So on other occasions where this kind of help is not required, so Manmatha would be shown his place and the various divinities would be shown their natural and respective places. But here something is to be got done through Manmatha, and therefore he is accorded a high respect and regard, and therefore he accommodated Manmatha on his own seat. And Bhartuh prasadam pratinandya murdhana vaktum mithah prakramataiva menam. And Manmatha too received with high regard the kind respect and regard shown by his master. And then Manmatha himself began to speak these words. So we have some 8 shlokas of Manmatha speaking to Indra. He says, please command me, sir. Ajñāpaya jñāta vishesha pumsam. Indra is referred to as jñāta vishesha pumsam. So a person who knows who is capable of what specialities are with whom. The mark of a right boss is to know who is capable of what. Sometimes they assign some tasks to the wrong persons who are not really good at it, and for some other reason, then the task gets spoiled. But here, in the case of Indra, he was a good boss in the sense he knew what task to be got done from whom, and therefore Ajñāpayajñāta Vishesha Pumsam Lokeshi Yatte Karneyamasti. So tell me what I need to do in any of the worlds. So in all the 3 worlds or 7 worlds or 14 worlds, as we classify the various worlds into. So please tell me what is to be done by me. Anugraham samsmarana pravrittam ichchami samvardhitam ajñayate. The very act of remembrance by you is an act of favor upon me, and if you bid me do something, that would be a favor extended further by your command, and therefore I am already ready to do any task at your bidding. So there is a beautiful expression in Sanskrit for the servant. The servant is called Kinkara in Sanskrit. So which means King Karavani. So what am I to do next? So what shall I do next? That is the word of the Kinkara. So King Karoti iti Kinkaraha. So what is, he keeps asking, sir, I finished the task that you gave. What next should I do? So he is not an escapist. He finds pleasure in doing tasks for his boss, and so Manmatha would be very pleased to carry out any task assigned by Indra. And you must see the kind of capacities that Manmatha thinks he possesses and consequently boasts of in front of Indra. He says, Kenabhyasuya padakangshanate nitanta dirghair janita tapobhihi yavadbhavatyahita sayakasya mat karmukasya asya nideshavarti. So tell me, which particular person aspiring for your own position, so te pada kankshina, so Indra's position is a sort of an office, and whoever qualifies for that would come and occupy that, and therefore somebody aspiring for your position might have commenced his tapas, and if it is a case of prolonged tapas, then surely he would have aroused the envy and fear in the mind of Indra. And he says, I can make him be at the command of my Karmuka. So my bow, the word Karmuka standing for bow is derived as Karmane Prabhavati, that which is capable of a particular task, and therefore this bow of Manmatha is something very efficient and very capable, and therefore with bow set in, with the arrow set in the bow, so he can shoot anybody, and therefore please tell me who it is that is disturbing you. Asammatah kastava mukti margam punarbhava klesha bhayat prapannaha baddhashchiram tishtata sundarinam arechida bhru chaturaihi katakshaihi. There may be some who are not aspiring for the very position of Indra, but they may have some other goal, but even that can disturb the mind of Indra. And who are such persons? There are some persons who are wary of taking births again and again. This samsara is also called punarbhava klesha. Punarbhava is the cycle of births and deaths, being born again and again. And such people would like to escape this cycle of births and deaths, and therefore they would like to choose the path of mukti, mukti margam prapannaha. And such a person would also be not very much liked by Indra, because such persons would go far beyond the level of the divinities themselves, and nobody likes somebody going out of their control, of his own control, and therefore Indra too would not like such people who would go beyond his control. So everybody loves power, and power consists in having everyone under his control, and therefore Indra would like to have even such people under his own control, and therefore would sometimes discourage people by causing some disturbance to the tapas. And how is that possible? He usually deploys Manmatha, and what would Manmatha do? Manmatha would deploy in turn beautiful damsels, Sundarinam, and they have not only a great physical charm, but even with the corners of their eyes, Katakshaihi, they can distract the mind of anyone. So, for a long time, Baddhaschiram Tishtatu. So, he will be held captive by their charms, and the peak of their charms is indicated by one expression, Arechita Bhru Chaturaih Katakshaihi. So, they can move their eyebrows at will. So, they can move their eyebrows singly or doubly. So, both eyebrows moving together, which is generally easy for all. So, we can all raise our eyebrows together, so or lower them, but it is only those who have practiced some and acquired certain skills and control over certain muscles that can raise a single eyebrow. So, and even that, so in a coquettish manner, and it is such katakshas equipped with such movements of the eyebrows called arechita, single eyebrow movements, that prove very fatal to the mind of people who are about to pursue the Mukti Marga very seriously, and I can disturb the mind of even such persons, he says.
असम्मतः कस्तव मुक्तिमार्गं पुनर्भवक्लेशभयात् प्रपन्नः कस्तव मुक्तिमार्गं पुनर्भवक्लेशभयात् प्रपन्नः असम्मतः बद्धश्चिरं तिष्ठतु सुन्दरीणाम् आरेचितभ्रूचतुरैः कटाक्षैः सुन्दरीणां कटाक्षैः बद्धश्चिरं तिष्ठतु सुन्दरीणाम् आरेचितभ्रूचतुरैः कटाक्षैः बद्धश्चिरं तिष्ठतु कस्तव असम्मतः मुक्तिमार्गं पुनर्भवक् क्लेशभयात् प्रपन्नः बद्धश्चिरं तिष्ठतु सुन्दरीणाम् आरेचितभ्रूचतुरैः कटाक्षैः.
Even in our own offices, we can see how if a subordinate, without caring for us, is having some easy and direct access to the topmost person, some manager or director or whoever, and therefore doesn't care for us, so we would definitely be wary and weary of such people. And even so, Indra would be very unhappy if someone, contrary to his wish, asammataha kastava, so would resort to the Mukti Marga and go beyond the control of Indra. And in the next two verses he says, tell me which person should I trouble? So I can trouble his dharma and artha, or I can trouble his kama, and therefore I can put any person off track and ensure that he will be under your control and he will be acting in accordance with your wishes. Adhyapitas yoshanasapi nityam prayuktaraga pranidhisdushasте kasyartha dharmam vada pidayami sindhostata oghaiva pravruddha. He says, the fellow may have been taught by Ushanas himself. Ushanas is Shukracharya, the Acharya of the Asuras, and he is known for his polity. In fact, Kautilya begins his Arthashastra with the statement, Om Namaha Shukra Brihaspatibhyam. Brihaspati is Devaguru and Shukra is Asura Guru, and yet there is a reference, there is a salutation here to Shukra and then only to Brihaspati. Shukra is very capable of leading people in very devious manners so that the enemy is outwitted, and therefore Manmatha says, even if the fellow has been taught by Shukracharya himself, Ushanasa Adhyapitasyapi, so he must have been taught the Niti or the Rajaniti or polity by even Shukracharya himself, then I can employ raga or passion as my pranidhi, my duta, and such an enemy of yours, dvishaste kasya artha dharmau vada pidayami. So tell me, I can put into trouble his pursuit of artha and dharma. So everyone acts for either artha or kama, and here he refers to artha and dharma first because of the three pursuits, namely dharma, artha and kama. He already referred to moksha in the previous verse, so mukti margam. So now he is referring to dharma and artha, and in the next verse he refers to kama. So when there is a flood of a river, what happens is it affects the two banks. The banks sometimes collapse on account of the force of the flood, and this is called ogha in Sanskrit. So Sindhoho ogha is the river in flood. So that flood of the river, when it is in full spate, so pravruddhaha, so it can affect the two banks. The two banks here are artha and dharma, and the river in flood, that flood is Manmatha himself. So Manmatha comes as a flood, and when he floods that, so the two banks are deeply affected, and therefore the artha and dharma of the person are very deeply affected, and the person is, as it were, ruined. If a person's pursuit of dharma and artha are wrecked, then what can the person do? And therefore he is totally ruined. So tell me, O Indra, so whose artha and dharma should I destroy? And then he asks, Kamekapatni vrata dukkashilam lolam manascharutaya pratishtham pravishtam nitimbani michhasi mukta lajjam kanthe swayangraha nishakta bahum. There may be women who are pativratas and who are dridhavratas, who are firm in their discipline, so with a full control over their mind. But if Indra wants that such a woman should surrender to Indra, and voluntarily so, then I can arrange for that. So the charm of the woman is indicated by the expression nitambinim, so one who is endowed with excellent hips. So even such a woman who is a pativrata would be made to come and surrender to you and offer her arms around your neck, swayangraha nishakta bahum kanthe, and who has gone beyond all sense of shame, mukta lajjam. There is a hint at the story of Ahalya, and even such a pativrata as Ahalya, so her mind was made very fickle, lolam manaha. So because of her charming beauty, charutaya, so she has entered the mind of Manmatha, so lolam manaha, so pravishtam, and therefore I can even turn her to one who surrendered to you. Nitambini michhasi mukta lajjam kanthe swayangraha nishakta pahum. And he asks, it could be a divine damsel too. Kayasi kamin surata aparadhat padanatah kopanaya madhutah tasyah karishyam dridhanutapam pravala shayya sharanam shariram. In Sanskrit literature, sometimes poets describe of a husband who has ill-treated his wife by showing his affection for some other woman, and therefore this wife will have got very angry, and she would have spurned the moves of this husband, but then I will make her repent and come to you in a sense of surrender. So Surata Paradhat Padanataha. So even when Indra bows down to her feet, so she is herself angry, Kopanaya Avadhuta, you are spurned by her, and I will make her full of regret and repentance. Dridhanutapam karishyami pravalashaya sharanam shariram. So she would offer her body, and so she would be sleeping on pravalashaya, beds made of flowers and sprouts, so full of viraha vedana. And he continues saying, Prasida Vishramyati Veera Vajram Sharair Madiyai Katamas Surarihi Bibhetu Mogi Krita Vahuviryaha Stribhyo Pikopas Prita Dharabhyaha. O Veera, O Indra, the great hero, Prasida, be pleased, give your Vajraidha some rest. Vajram Vishramyatu, because I have my arrows which are very powerful. Madiyahi Sharaihi. Tell me which enemy of God's Katamas Surarihi, so Bibhetu, must he be made afraid of you, because all the prowess of his arms so would be rendered futile. Mokhi Krita Bahuviryaha. In front of women, Stribhyaha, Kopaspurita Dharabhyaha. So whose lips are throbbing on account of anger. So in other words, he would forget his valor and attack on gods and be carried away by the attraction towards his ladies. And finally he says, in a concluding verse, he says, I can show my prowess even upon Lord Shiva himself. So this is the climax, and this is also the undoing of Manmatha's words. So Tava Prasadat, out of your grace, O Indra, Kusumaidhopi, even though I am a person who has only the flowers as his weapons, Sahayamekam Madhumeva Labdhva, and having as my comrade only Mr. Madhu, the spring, Kuryam Harasyapi Pinakapaner Dhairyachutim, I can shake the steadiness, Dhairyachutim Karomi. So Kuryam of even Lord Shiva himself, Harasyapi, even though he is endowed with the bow called Pinaka. So Shiva is known for his prowess, even with his Pinaka bow, and he says, Mama ke mama dhanvinaha anni. And what to speak of other archers? So if I can affect Lord Shiva himself, if I can disturb his mind himself, so his own mind, what to speak of others?
तव प्रसादात् कुसुमायुधोऽपि सहायमेकं मधुमेव लब्ध्वा सहायम् एकं मधुं लब्ध्वा कुर्यां हरस्यापि पिनाकपाणेः धैर्यच्युतिं के मम धन्विनोऽन्ये कुसुमायुधोऽपि एकं मधुं सहायं लब्ध्वा पिनाकपाणेः हरस्यापि धैर्यच्युतिं कुर्यां पिनाकपाणेः धैर्यच्युतिं कुर्याम् अन्ये धन्विनो के मम धन्विनो कुसुमायुधो मधुं सहायं लब्ध्वा पिनाकपाणेर्धैर्यच्युतिं कुर्यां के मम धन्विनो
When we begin to boast of ourselves, sometimes we forget the limits that we should not cross. This is what happened to Manmatha. So he is crossing the limits when he says, the Kuryam harasyapi pinakapanehe dhairyachyutim. Had he spoken of such things in respect of lesser gods, probably he would have been saved. But that was not to be. This is the irony. So even before Indra asked him that the task is one of attacking the mind of Shiva himself, so Manmatha has spontaneously and on his own expressed that he is able to shake the balance of even the mind of Shiva. And the way he boasts of himself is very clearly indicated by the multiple use of the word api in the verse. So Kusumayudhopi, I am a person who has as his weapon the softest of weapons, namely the flowers. So Manmatha is able to attack the mind of others. And further, only one companion is sufficient for me. I don't need a big army. So in the story of the Buddha, we see Mara coming with his great army and all that, and with a number of daughters attacking the Buddha and so on. So here he says, Sahayamekam madhumeva labdha. So with only the spring as my companion, I am able to shake the mind of even Lord Shiva. So even his courage and even his mental strength I can disturb. So I can perturb the mind of Shiva, he says, Kuryam harasyapi pinaka panehe dhairyachyutim. So mama dhanvinaha ke anye. So who others are dhanvins, archers? So where are other archers in front of me? So these are the words of Manmatha, full of boast and tall claims. With these words, Manmatha ends his talk, and then the reaction of Indra begins. Atho rudeshad avatarya padam akranti sambhavita padabhitham sankalpitarthe vivritatma shaktim akhandalaha kamamidam babhashe. So Indra began to speak to Manmatha, who had now made a display of what all his capacities are. He has expatiated upon his strengths. So sankalpitarthe vivritatma shaktim. So in regard to the task that is intended by the various divinities. So Indra, Kalidasa gives a beautiful description of the action of Indra and the body language of Indra. Till now he had one pada upon his one thigh. So atha urudeshat avatarya padam akranti sambhavita padapitham, and now he is keeping the foot on the padapitha, so on the footrest, and he is now addressing Manmatha. Now when some task needs to be got done through somebody, we first begin to praise the person. So does Manmatha do here. Whenever somebody praises us, it is actually a warning, but we get so easily deluded by the words of praise, and we get carried away, and we do not know that there may be lying a trap there. And therefore these are the very beautiful words of almost the seduction of mind of Manmatha by the praise of Indra. Sarvam sakhetva yupamannametat. So he calls him Sakhe. Sakha is, there is a saying in Sanskrit, Samapranaha Sakha Smritaha. So a person with whom we share our very life. So he is a Sakha, and therefore Indra addresses Manmatha as my friend, you are my friend, rather than calling him my servant or some such thing. So he gives him an equal rank. Sarvam sakhetva yupapanna metat. So all this makes sense, O Manmatha, O dear friend, in your case, because I have only two weapons, he says. Ubhe mamastre. What are the two weapons? One is the famous Vajrayudha of Indra. Kulisham is Vajrayudha, and Bhavamsha, you are my weapon number 2. So, and he says the weapon in the form of Manmatha is indeed greater than his own Vajrayudha. So he says, Vajram tapovirya mahatsu kuntam tvam sarvatogamicha sadhakancha. In the case of Asuras who are physically very powerful, so his Vajrayudha can take care of them. But in the case of those who resort to tapas, his own Vajrayudha cannot be of any help there, because the power of tapas is much greater than the tapas of this, the power of this Vajrayudha. And therefore, in the case of those who have become Mahan or great on account of the valor of their tapas, Tapovirya Mahatsu, Vajram Kuntham. So it has no access there, and it cannot show its prowess there. But on the other hand, Tvam Sarvatogamicha Sadhakancha, and the Astra in the form of Manmatha is something that can go anywhere and everywhere. So there is no entry for Manmatha, and Sadhakancha, and it goes and accomplishes the task that it has taken up.
सर्वं सखे त्वयि उपपन्नमेतत् उभे ममास्त्रे कुलिशं भवाश्च सखे सर्वं त्वयि उपपन्नमेतत् कुलिशं भवांश्च उभे ममास्त्रे वज्रं तपोवीर्यमहत्सु कुण्ठं तपोवीर्यमहत्सु वज्रं कुण्ठं त्वं सर्वतोगामि च साधकं च सखे त्वं सर्वतोगामि च साधकं सखे त्वं सर्वतोगामि च साधकं च.
Continuing, Indra says, O Manmatha, I know what you are capable of. I know what your strengths are. Avaimite saram. And it is for that very reason, Atah khalu tvam karye guruni atmasamam niyokshe. I am employing you in a task which is not an ordinary one. So it is a guru karya, which is an extraordinary task, and therefore it is no easy task. And therefore I am employing you because you are actually equal to me, Atma Samam. So Indra is praising and extolling Manmatha to the skies and says that you are my equal, Atma Samam. And he says, true bosses, great bosses do not assign a task to a subordinate without getting to know first of all what that person is capable of or not capable of. And he gives the analogy of Lord Vishnu, so who has allowed the Sarpa, so Shesha, so as his bed, so in order to carry the weight of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So it is only after seeing that he is capable of bearing the burden of the earth, Vyadishyate Bhudharatam Avekshya. It's only after taking into account Avekshya that he is capable of supporting the very earth. Bhudharatam Avekshya, that Lord Krishna, or that is Vishnu, Krishnena Dehodvahanaya Sheshaha Vyadishyate. So Shesha is bidden to carry his own body. So it is only after that. Malinatha says beautifully, Sara Pariksha Purvakaha Eva Sarvatra Niyogaha. This is sort of a due diligence. So first test and get to know what the servant or the officer is capable of and assign him a proper task only then. So therefore, O Manmatha, I know what your strength is. There is a beautiful saying in English which says, flattery is the food of fools, and thus flattered by Indra, Manmatha gets into what he should really not do. Anyhow, Ashamsata Banagatim Vrishanke Karyam Tvayanah Pratipanna Kalpam Nibodha Yajnamsha Bhujam Idanim Uchair Dvisham Ipsitam Etadeva. Indra goes on to say that, well, Manmatha, the very claim that you have made is indeed providential, as it were, because the very thing that was in our mind, so those that has come out of your words. So the moment you spoke of the capacity of your arrows to victimize Lord Shiva himself, so Ashamsata is speaking of Bana Gatim, the movement of the arrow, Vrishanki, with respect to Lord Shiva himself. Shiva is called Vrishanka because on his banner is the mark of Nandin or the Vrisha, and therefore you have made a reference to your capacity to make as the target Lord Shiva himself. Well, Karyam Tvayana Pratipanna Kalpam, it is more or less like you have already accepted the task that we intended to assign to you. So you have practically undertaken our assignment. So look here, Nibodha, Yajnamshu Bhujam Idanim Uchair Dvisham Ipsitam Etadeva. Now the great enemies of the divinities, what are they capable of? They are capable of snatching away the very food of the gods, because the gods have as their food what is made as an offering in the course of the yajna. So yajna amsha bhujam, so they partake of that offering that is made in sacrifices. And these ferocious enemies of the divinities, so they are destroying our very food, they are making our own food inaccessible, and therefore this is what you have to do now. So earlier there was a reference in the previous sarga, so where the gods in front of Brahma had described how the havis that is offered unto Jatavedas, unto the fire, from the mouth of Jatavedas or the fire, Taraka is snatching away the food of the gods, and therefore it is a question of survival for them. The gods cannot survive without food, and Taraka is spoiling even that. So Amihi Virya Prabhavam Bhavasya Jayaya Senanya Mushanti Devaha Sajat Tvadekeshu Nipata Sadhyaha Brahmanga Bhur Brahmani Yojitatma. He says the various divinities, they have this desire, Devaha Ushanti. So Ami Devaha Ushanti for the conquest, so Jayaya, so of this enemy of gods, only by a commander-in-chief, Senanyam, who is Bhavasya Virya Prabhavam, who can be born of the tejas of Lord Shiva himself, and that is possible only with the shooting of the arrow of yours. So it's only by your own arrows that this can be accomplished. Jatvadekeshu nipata sadhyaha brahmanga bhur brahmani yojitatma. Now the victim of that should be Lord Shiva himself, who is Brahmani Yojitatma, who is established in the Supreme Brahman, and himself Brahmanga Bhuhu, born of the limb of Brahma. It is described in the Puranas that Lord Shiva was born of the forehead of Brahma, So sometimes in other Puranas, Brahma and Vishnu are spoken of as born of Shiva, and sometimes Vishnu and Shiva are spoken of as born of Brahma, and sometimes Brahma and Shiva are spoken of as born of Shiva. This way of Vishnu, and this way this person, Lord Shiva, is established in the Supreme Brahman. So we have, apart from Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, so we have the Supreme Brahman, so that is Napumsakalinga, that is neither masculine nor feminine. So Brahma, Brahmani, Brahmani, so which lies at the root of this trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, and therefore now Shiva is established in that Supreme Brahman, and therefore it is only with your arrows that it is possible to disturb and distract the mind of this Lord and make him marry. And the task is actually made quite easy for us. So your task is not extremely difficult, O Manmatha, because Tasmai Himadre Prayatam Tanujam Yatatmane Rochaitum Yatasva. So what you have to do is you must attempt Yatasva to make sure like Rochaitum Himadrehe Tanujam, the daughter of Himavan, so who is extraordinary, Prayatam Tanujam. So Tasmai Rochaitum Yatasva, ensure that Shiva comes to like so this daughter of Himavan, and that is because she is an extraordinary person. Among women, Yoshitsu Tadvirya Nisheka Bhumihi Saivakshama iti Atma Bhuva Upadishtam. So Brahma himself has spoken very clearly that it is only she who is capable of bearing a child from Shiva, and therefore it is this task that you must take up. So there is a clear perception of the equivalence of the bija and the kshetra, the seed and the ground, and it is only Parvati who can be the proper ground for the seed of the Lord. So Tadvirya Nisheka Bhumihi Yoshitsu Saivakshama, so she is the right person, and therefore it is only this combination as husband and wife that can give birth to a son who even as a child would ultimately be able to lead the army of the divinities and destroy Tarakasura. Guror Niyogacha Nagendra Kanya Sthanum Tapasyantam Adhityakayam Anvasta Ityapsarasam Mukhebhyaha Shrutam Maya Mat Pranidhis Savargaha. And he says, I come to know that Parvati is actually serving Lord Shiva. So Guror Niyogat, upon the bidding of her own father. So Himavan came to know that Lord Shiva is doing tapas in the Himalayan regions, in his own regions, and he assigned Parvati this task of serving Lord Shiva while he is doing tapas. Guror Niyogacha Nagendra Kanya is Parvati, Sthanum Tapasyantam Adhityakayam Anvaste. So she is serving him, so while he is doing tapas, so in the Adhityaka or the Plateau region. Ityapsarasam Mukhebhya Shrutam Maya. This is not some gossip information that I am giving you. So I have got this information from the Apsaras themselves. So Apsarasam Mukhebhya Shrutam Maya, and Mat Pranidhihi Saha Vargaha, and that group of Apsaras ladies is actually a set of my spies, and therefore employing ladies as spies is well known in Kautilya's Arthashastra also, and therefore these Apsaras ladies are actually my spies, and they pass on all important information to me, and therefore I have come to know this as an authentic information that Parvati is serving Lord Shiva. And therefore there is a saying in Sanskrit, Rajanaha Chara Chakshushaha. So kings have spies as their eyes, and therefore it is through these eyes in the form of spies that I have come to know that Parvati is serving Lord Shiva, and therefore this is the right context for you, and things are made easy for you. Had Parvati been elsewhere, far away from the region where Shiva is performing his tapas, it would have been very tough for you to get her there and See, the task would have been made more difficult for you. But on the other hand, here is a situation where Parvati is very close by and is actually serving Lord Shiva, and therefore it is easy for you to accomplish the task. Tad gaccha siddhyai. And so, please proceed. Kuru deva karyam. You will be successful, and know that this is the task of the gods themselves. So, this is the deva karya, and therefore you will be crowned with success. Siddhyai gaccha. So, ayam अर्थोयम अर्थांतर भाव्य एव अपेक्षते प्रत्ययम् उत्तमं त्वां बीजांकुरः प्रागुदयादिवाम्भः. Sometimes we will have sown the seed in the water, and the seed has the capacity to sprout on its own, but yet it requires some watering. So with some minimal watering, the sprout is able to come out of the seed, and this is the kind of role that you have to play. And therefore, just before it sprouts, just as some water is poured, so is your role here. तस्मिन् सुराणां विजयाभ्युपाये तवैव नामास्त्र गतिः कृतित्वम् अप्यप्रसिद्धं यशसे हि पुंसाम् अनन्यसाधारणमेव कर्म. And therefore, what you are going to do is something that goes to the bring in the victory of the gods. So Suranam Vijayabhyupaye Tavaiva Nama Astra Gatihi. It's only your own arrow that has any access there. So your astras alone can do the task, and that is why you are really very fortunate and lucky. Krititvam. You are the most fortunate person because you are able to accomplish the goal of the gods. And if a person does something which is extraordinary, ananya sadharanam karma, even if it is aprasiddham, even if not many come to know, even that can bring him fame and name, yashase. But the task that you are going to do is something that will bring you very great name and fame, because this is something that is going to help all the divinities, and therefore this task is something extraordinary for you. And he says, Suraha samabhyarthaitara ete. Now here are the various gods who are beseeching. Karyam trayanam api vishtapanam. Now this task is something that is going to help all the three worlds, because Tarakasura is torturing all the three worlds. Chapena te karma. And the task that you have to do is one that has to be done with just your bow and arrow. And further, nacha ati himsram. It's not something that's going to be very ruinous and can cause lot of pain and trouble to very many people. So na ati himsram. So it's only a question of disturbing the mind of Shiva and drawing him towards Parvati and nothing else. Aho batasi sprihaniya viryaha. So indeed enviable, sprihaniya viryaha, your prowess is indeed enviable. Aho bata asi. So in Sanskrit, aho expresses wonder and bata shows joy. So a matter of great joy it is that you have an enviable prowess and you can accomplish this task.
सुराः समभ्यर्थयितारयेते कार्यं त्रयाणामपि विष्टपानां सुराः एते समभ्यर्थयितारः त्रयाणां विष्टपानां कार्यमपि चापेन ते कर्म न च अतिश्रम ते कर्म चापेन अतिहिंस्रम् अहो बतासि स्पृहणीयवीर्यः अहो बतासि स्पृहणीयवीर्यः.
In his concluding words, Indra says, O Manmatha, here is Mr. Spring. So, Madhuschate Manmatha Sahacharyat, being a constant companion, Asavanuktopi Sahaya Eva. He is there as a beautiful comrade for you. So, Anuktopi, so it doesn't need to be said. And he gives an analogy. Samirano nodayita bhaveti vyadishyate kena hutashanasya. Should anybody need to tell the wind to go and help the fire? So hutashanasya nodayita bhava. So be one to urge the fire to burn the more. So should anybody say this to Vayu, Samiranaha? So it goes without saying that you will have the companionship and support and help from Madhu, the spring season, so you can accomplish your task very well. With these words, Indra concludes his speech, and you can see how with the very words of Manmatha, Indra ensures that the task that was to be assigned has already come out of the mouth of Manmatha in an ominous manner, and therefore assigning this task to him, he concludes his speech. Tatheti sheshamiyo bharturajñam adaya murdhna madana pratasthe. Madana then started accepting the command of Lord Indra. Bhartuhu ajñam murdhna adaya, with his head bent low before him. Sheshamiva, as one would receive the prasada of a mala given after worshipping a deity. So receiving that, Manmatha now started. So with full of reverence and full acceptance, Manmatha has accepted the command of Lord Indra. Airavatas phalana karkashena hastena pasparshatadangam Indraha. And Indra patted Manmatha on his back. So with his hand, and Kalidasa describes his hand as having become very harsh, karkasha, hard on account of his constant patting on the back of Airavata. Airavatas phalana karkashena hastena pasparshatadangam Indraha. So saying yes, so Manmatha leaves now. Sa Madhavena abhimatena sakhya. So along with his dear friend Madhava, who is most endearing friend for him, Ratyacha Sashanka Manuprayataha. Kalidasa very beautifully knows the psychology of people. Rati has also accompanied Manmatha. Rati is the wife of Manmatha, but Rati has her own apprehensions. So Ratyacha Sashankam Anuprayataha. She follows Manmatha. So, but she has her own worries, because the task that Manmatha has taken upon himself is not an easy one. So she knows that it could be a very risky job that he has taken up, and therefore she is full of apprehensions. Angavyaya prarthita karya siddhehi. So Manmatha is ready to sacrifice his life for the sake of this goal of God's. And sthanvashramam haimavatam jagama. Now he has arrived at the sthanvashrama. Sthanu refers to Shiva. So Shiva's region, Shiva's forest. So he has come there in the Himalayan region. Sometimes we say that there is this belief that 3 persons do not set out on a job, so it may not be a very successful one. So it is as though the 3 persons here have started together and their task is not going to get very successful. So Manmatha, along with Madhu, his friend, the spring, and Rati, the 3 persons have started together. Tasmin vane sanyaminam Muninam tapassamadhe pratikulavurti sankalpayonerabhimanabhutam atmanamadhaya madhurjajrumbhe. And now, when they go to that forest, Madhur Jajrumbhe, the spring began to function there in all glow. So he is reigning supreme, Madhur Jajrumbhe. And this onset of Madhu or the spring is something that can go counter to Pratikulavurti or the tapas samadhi, the depth of concentration during tapas. So for the Sanyaminam Muninam, so it's not merely Shiva who is performing tapas in that forest. So many sages are performing tapas. Attaining full control over one's mind is not something that is very easily achieved. So it may require sometimes several births, and therefore there are several sages there who have been practicing tapas for quite some time. And Sankalpa Yonir Abhimana Bhutam Atmanam Adhaya Madhu Jajrumbhe. So presenting himself there, Atmanam Adhaya Madhur Jajrumbhe, Madhu shone there very well, and he is the person who is Abhimana Bhuta of Manmatha, Sankalpa Yonehe Abhimana Bhutam, so a matter of great pride for Manmatha. Now here follows a beautiful description of the spring season. So we have already come to the end of our time, so we shall stop today. So in the next session we shall take up the description of the spring season and the kind of effect it had upon the residents there, upon the forest and the tapasvins and so on, and how he tries to accost Lord Shiva, and the beautiful description of the tapas of Lord Shiva is presented there. The beauty of Kalidasa's work is that he can describe equally at ease the Shringara Rasa and the spiritual one, the spiritual Rasa at equal ease. So we shall get into this situation in the coming session. Namaskar all of you.